Just very briefly, I'm honored by the Chief Minister's kind invite to involve giving advice with regard to this case. Our involvement, I'm also representing Dato Agatha who would not come because she had an arbitration case that she could not get postponed. Our entry into this case arises because of the decision of the appeals board. The appeals board said it was wrong for the council to have, they have set aside the approval given by the council for projects with regard to sensitive hill-land. And Agatha and I, Dato Agatha is the president of HAKAM, which is the National Human Rights Society, and I'm the vice president. We issued a statement welcoming that decision and hoping that the state government would support that decision because it clarifies once and for all the law relating to approvals with regard to sensitive hill-lands. And the decision also was much awaited, I think, because when Mr. Chow, for example, talked about what the situation was and why they had to grant the approval, YB Chow. Yes. So he said, he concluded his statement by saying that this matter is pending before the court, so let the appeals board and let the appeals board decide. Now the appeals board has decided. And it has decided that this kind of approval, in these kind of circumstances, has been wrongly given and set it aside. They would most probably go for judicial review, and I can perfectly understand, we can perfectly understand the concern that has been raised by the state government, because one of the concerns they've been raising right from the beginning is that, if they act contrary to some arrangements that have been agreed to before that, then they could be bankrupted by having to pay millions of dollars, because that has been their unhappy experience, I must say. So we are examining the question from this issue. Once an appeals board sets aside a decision of the Majlis with regard to planning permission, then is compensation payable or not? So if the High Court says, yes, the appeals board is correct, is compensation payable? Now, we have examined this issue very carefully, and we are of the firm view that no compensation can be payable because, very simply stated, they have set out the law and said that the law does not allow you to give permission for this kind of projects. That is the law. So if that is the law, then of course everybody must follow the law. And if everybody follows the law, they cannot be asked to pay compensation. First, because here this is a process. This is a process which allows them to appeal and allows the appeal board to decide. Once the appeal board has decided, then and set down the law, then there is an obligation to follow the law. All right? So it shows that you had no right in the first place to get that permission, to get that approval. So if you had no right in the first place to get that approval, then of course no compensation can be payable. All right? Then they could, of course, also suggest that, oh yes, but you should have realized that it was your mistake. It was a mistake of the Majlis. So you get permission, we have made some commitments based on that permission, you must pay. Again, there cannot, this is called, in law, it's called a estoppel. That means you having made a representation, you cannot go back on your representation. The law is very clear on that. There cannot be estoppel against public authorities because public authorities cannot be stopped from adhering to the law. So you cannot say, because you said that, therefore I don't care. You have to now, fulfill, you have to pay for whatever I did, acting on the basis of your approval, right or wrong. So it's your mistake, you pay for it. Now, that's very clear, all right? That you cannot ask for damages in these kind of circumstances. All right, we have, so this is the area in which we are coming. We have looked at it from a variety of angles, under the common law, under the statute law, under equity, under a variety of things. Dato Agatha and myself, and we have come to the conclusion that no compensation is payable. We're very happy to note that in these circumstances, the state government is supporting the decision, and for that reason, we are fully behind the state government in their support of this decision, because it clarifies once and for all from a variety of perspectives, from the environmental perspective, from public interest perspective, from sustainable development perspective, that you can actually deal with sensitive lands in a particular way. Thank you.